Hello, I am Tammy Brown, and this is my Week 4 assessment, Think Out Loud evaluation of a website. First, why do we need to evaluate websites? Like Alan November said in his book, Web Literacy for Educators, there is no fiction or nonfiction area of the internet. Unlike books, where there are fact checkers and obstacles that a book goes through before being published, a website does not have these things. Anyone can post information, true or not. The website that I chose to evaluate is Help Save the Endangered Pacific Northwest Tree Octopus from Extinction. The first thing I do when I'm looking at a new site is start with the address bar. Look at the URL. Do I recognize the name? Well, Zapatio.net. No, I'm afraid I don't know that word. I haven't seen it before. The next thing I'm going to look at is the domain extension. What does it end in? In this case, it ends in .net, which equals network. So that means it's a purchase site. However, that's not always a bad thing. If it were a .edu, a .gov, .mil, or .k12, that would make it a more trustworthy beginning, but in this case it's a purchase site. So the next thing I like to do is I'll look at the overall page. Does it look professional? Does it contain pictures, photos that appear to have not been altered? Well, I mean, we can see there's a photo first off right here of an octopus in a tree, which admittedly I've never seen before. However, it doesn't look too fake, at least not in that photo. There's a map. Map tends to give things a little bit of reality, and Seattle, I know Seattle, and that's a place, and there's Tacoma and Olympia, and those are real places, and they're in the correct order, so that's a good start. There's a picture of a magazine. Looks like an old magazine. Don't know that one, but that doesn't mean it's not real. There is a photo of an old sideshow exhibit, which does give me some pause because most of the sideshow exhibits were things that were not true. It was kind of a hoax kind of deal. The next thing I'm going to look at overall is, are there ads? And the only ads I'm really seeing is there's one over here that's for a bumper sticker that you can buy from the website itself, and I'm not really seeing any others. A lot of times you'll see flashing, annoying ads, and there's none of that on here. Are the colors appealing, or are they rather obnoxious? And in this case, it's not bad. It's pretty calm. It doesn't have every color of the rainbow jumping out at you. It's easy to read. Next, I'm going to look at the bottom of the page because I find you can find a lot of important information down here. So down at the very bottom of the page, first thing I'm going to look for is the author, and I can see there is an author name. It says by Lyle Zapato. While I don't know him, it could be a person's name. It does say that the site is not associated with any school or educational organization, which gives me a bit pause. Although it does say other than the Kelvinic University branch of the Wild Hogs Conversation Society, which sounds a little fishy. I'm also looking for dates. Is there a copyright date? Is there a date that the last time the site was updated or even created? And I'm not seeing any kind of dates at all, which gives me pause and gives me another mark in kind of the negative column there. Is there a publisher or a sponsor named? We got the author, and I guess you could say that they're saying the university mentioned is a sponsor, but not what I've heard of. I want to do some more research on that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a closer look at really looking at the content that I'm finding in here. Are there tabs at the top of the page? Are there links throughout the text or even on the one-hand side of the page? And I do not see... Well, there are a few links on the side over here. There are some within the text. There's one on rainforests. I saw another one, Olympic National Forest, which is a true place. I've been there before. There are tabs, like I said, across the top, so when I click on them, they work, and they actually go to other places within the site, so that's a good sign. If they did not, and they went to nowhere or said the page was not found, then that would give me caution as to whether it's a legitimate site or not. Are there any misspelled words? Well, I did notice in one spot when I was scrolling through that they mentioned green peas, and I think that was their play on green peace. So that makes me wonder. And Sasquatch also gives me pause, which kind of leads back to that picture that we saw of the sideshow. A lot of people don't believe in Sasquatch. That kind of gives you a hint that maybe something's going on here. Yes, we can get back to the home page. That's the about gets us back there. And, of course, one of the important things is, will the information answer my questions? Well, there does seem to be a lot of information about the tree octopus. I haven't read it closer, but that would be then my final step. If I find I'm getting several no's to my questions, which, yeah, I kind of am, then it's time to move on, or at least not take the website seriously. If you're still not sure, you can always do a search engine on the actual name of the website, which I've done here. And what caught my attention was right away down here it says that the Pacific Northwest tree octopus is an internet hoax created in 1998 by Lyle Zapato. Well, there's that name again. And this is fictitious endangered species. So there we have it. It is a hoax website. Although it's done very well and would be a great example to use with students, I have to say. So my final reflection is going to be that the site is obviously a hoax, and I'll admit, being that I live in and have grown up in the Pacific Northwest, I've never heard of a tree octopus nor come across one, so I was skeptical to begin with. Alan November uses the real model in his book. R, read the URL. E, examine the content. A, ask about author and owner. Links is the L for forward and backward links. And I have to say, I was really glad to see that this system in there, this way of valuing websites in the book, because it's actually kind of what I really already do. So I was glad to see that I apparently doing something on the right track there. And I will continue to evaluate websites this way with that confirmation. And I will also continue to teach my students these skills and these methods of using the real to evaluate a website. So thank you for your time, and once again, this was Tammy Brown, and have a great day.